For the second time this series, the Tigers fell victim to the bat of Nelson Cruz in the 11th. And for the third time this series, the Tigers lost a game that some may argue they should have won. As for the atmosphere inside the locker room after the game, it was unlike any other, including a dance party that featured music stars Kid Rock, Rev Run, and Bob Seger. For most of the game, Michigan State seemed destined for a second straight Big Ten championship and a trip to the Rose Bowl for the first time since 1988. But in the end, on a running into the kicker penalty, the roses that seemed so firmly in their grasp were swiped away. The Detroit Pistons finally have a new coach, and unlike the previous two head coaches, Joe Dumars went with a guy with previous head coaching experience this time around. And listening to Lawrence Frank speak, it became clear where he differs from John Kuester, a guy who had trouble connecting with his players. They may not have been picked to get here when the season began, but with one more win in the inaugural Big Ten championship game, Michigan State will have secured a second straight Big Ten championship and a berth in the Rose Bowl. With Greg Gilbert stepping into the spotlight as the new coach of the Spirit, only time will tell if he can bring championships to the Dow Event Center. From Saginaw, Evan Beach, Sports Extra. Each looking to win a regional championship and move on to the national tournament in South Carolina. Yeah, that's right. Tom Izzo said it. He is a great guy, and it's a great thing he's doing and has been doing for the community of Saginaw. It was a fun way to kick off his charity week tonight. But for now, live from the Horizon Center, Evan Beach, WNEM TV5.
Great story, Evan. Thanks so much for sharing it.
A lot of people anticipating where or when Draymond's going to go. A lot of people thought he'd be going in the first round, but we had to wait a little bit longer. It's in the second round right now. Golden State's on the clock with a 36th pick. Some people think he might go there, so it might be happening coming up. But right now, I'm standing by with his college teammate, Anthony Ianni. And Anthony, this has got to be an exciting night for you as well.
It really is. I mean, when Day Day asked me to come out here, I was really honored and to have the privilege to come out and support Day Day. And this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal that we all get to be a part of, and I'm really thankful to be here tonight.
I know most prognosticators thought he would go late first round or early second. Are you surprised a little bit that he's fallen a little bit, especially some of these guys you played against? Probably you went think. Well, here he comes right now. Here, Jim, why don't you pan over? Here he comes right now. Apparently, he's received that phone call. He's going to the Golden State Warriors with the 36th pick. Definitely an exciting time right here. As you can see, the big smile on his face. He gets a round of applause from all his friends and family, getting some hugs. Definitely an exciting time here for Draymond. Of course, we're going to get to talk to him here in a little bit, and we'll have continued coverage. And exciting time right here at the Dow Event Center. But for now, live from the Dow Event Center at Draymond Green's draft party, Evan Beach, Fox 66. His passion for the game is why Bay City Western's Matt Costello is one of the best high school basketball players in the nation. As you could expect, his twin brother John shares the same kind of passion, just in a very different area.
Typical twins, I don't really know if there's ever a typical twin because every set is different.
Although they're twin brothers, Matt and John Costello are individually unique in more than just appearance alone.
The two of them.
Yeah, exactly. They bicker back and forth. They never let each other have a spare moment if they step out of line.
That competitive streak often drives one to try and outshine the other.
We both are extremely competitive, but we do it in two different ways.
John just wants to do things well, right? And Matt wants to do things well and win, right?
Yeah, they always chose to do different things and to enjoy different things.
Matt's passion is for basketball. At 6'10", he is one of the top high school players in the nation, averaging nearly 25 points, 20 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 4 assists for Bay City Western, and is a favorite to win Michigan's Mr. Basketball Award. John's passion is in music.
By the time he was an 8th grader, he was playing college freshman and sophomore music. He just puts himself into it and is a great musician.
The grandchildren of 40-year Corunna band director Lyle Brooks, music wasn't really an option for the Costello kids growing up.
Did I even ask you if they could start?
Yeah.
I did?
You asked, but it wasn't a choice.
Okay.
While Matt eventually gave up music to focus on basketball, John, an all-state lineman in football, made the difficult decision to put down the pigskin and pursue his dream as a musician.
He called me up 2 weeks before football got started and said, I need shoes and I need gloves. And so I got him all prepared. Everything was sitting on his bed. We got a phone call the Friday before and said, what do you think? Can I not go to football? And I'm like, no, your shoes are on your bed. I've already taken care of it.
When he chose music, it kind of hurt me because I saw the opportunity that he could have had playing sports.
He made a grown-up decision to pursue something he was passionate about that he will have in his life forever.
I don't think he would have played basketball if Matt wasn't there.
No, he wouldn't have.
He had other things to do,
Yep.
to go get ready for college, but he has said multiple times, I played basketball to play with Matt.
Yep.
And just in the last 2 months, Matt said, you know what, I think I'll join band again, and I can be in band to be with John. So the two bickering old men do end up like being with each other.
Matt, of course, is headed to Michigan State next year to play for Tom Izzo and the Spartans. John is hoping to play for someone as well, currently in the midst of trying out at various colleges throughout the state to earn a scholarship in music. Baseball is like golf, only in that you try to hit a ball with a long stick. But as some Loons players found out, it's a game that is much more difficult than it seems.
One of our guys out here in the fairway snapped somebody's club, so.
Me. Never in my life played golf. So it's my first time.
Was it your club that he broke?
Yeah.
No hard feelings on that?
No, heck no, anybody can do that.
One other similarity between baseball and golf is it's a game where you must have confidence, something many of the Loons, especially the pitchers, did not lack.
I'll say I'm probably one of the best. Probably one of the best.
Best on the team, or?
Yeah, best talkers.
Best on.
Yeah, I can talk a mad game.
I am the golfer of the Loons.
All right.
The golfer of the Loons. Zach Lee thinks he's got something on me.
Pete seems to think that he's the best golfer on the team. What do you think about that?
Pete Buckenfit?
Yeah.
We'll have to play for it. I haven't seen him play a whole lot. I saw him on the range a little bit, but I don't know. If I'm playing a lot, I definitely think I can make a run for it.
I'll take his 5.2 signing bonus.
Take it and win it. Steal it all from him.
Pete Buckenfit is probably the best. I played with him a couple times. He pretty much kills me every time.
He said he's the best.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did.
I'll pair up with anybody else, take on 2 other Loons. Guarantee you, I'd take their money.
You've been seeing him play. How is he?
He's not too bad for a baseball player.
But according to some Loons players, it isn't how you play, it's how you look.
You look good, you golf decent.
Yeah, you're golfing just fine.
Well, I guess somebody needs to tell Red Patterson that theory.
What kind of gloves are those?
Those are Rollins baseball gloves, Gold Glove Award. It's whatever.
Here's the question, Red. Does it really matter how you golf?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because, I'm not trying to be the best at golf.
What are you trying to be best at?
Baseball.
With the Loons at Apple Mountain, I'm Evan Beach for Sports Extra.
Now, with coverage you can count on, you're watching Sports Extra.
Behind solid pitching and an offense that had began to hit their stride, the Detroit Tigers finally climbed back to the top of the AL Central Division last weekend. But a 9-game road trip that began by losing 2 of 3 in Cleveland continued with dropping the first 2 in Toronto. The Tigers, who have dropped 2.5 games back of the White Sox in the division, were hoping to avoid their 4th straight loss and being swept in Toronto for the first time since 2003. Bottom of the first, the Blue Jays take a 1-0 lead as Colby Rasmus grounds out to third but scores Rajai Davis in the process. But Johnny Peralta, who had gone an entire week without a single hit, bounces back in a big way with 2 on. JP blasts one into the left bullpen, a 3-run home run for a 3-1 Tigers lead. Other than that, Brett Cecil was doing a good job eliminating the Tigers hitters. Here he strikes out Brendan Bosch swinging to end the top of the 4th. Cecil struck out 7 and allowed only 4 hits and the 1 3-run home run to Peralta. He was good, but Doug Fister was better. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Dougie strikes out Jeff Mathis swinging to end the inning. Then in the bottom of the 7th with another K, 1 of 9 for him in 8 complete innings. He only allowed 7 hits and 1 run to win for the 4th time in his last 5 starts. Peralta added another solo home run as the Tigers avoid the sweep with the 4-1 win. The AL Central Division leading Chicago White Sox in Texas taking on the Rangers. Bottom of the third, Mike Napoli with runners on the corners and 2 out. Hits the chopper to short, but Alexi Ramirez can't glove it as Josh Hamilton scores to make it 1-0 Texas. Bottom of the fifth, Michael Young taps one short. He's out at first, but Nelson Cruz still scores to make it 2-zip Rangers. Scott Feldman threw 8 scoreless innings for the Rangers as they beat the White Sox 2-0. The Tigers still trail Chicago by 1.5 games in the division, though, and the White Sox are doing what they can to keep it that way. While they weren't able to get Zach Greinke, who was traded to the Angels, the Sox did pick up Francisco Liriano, sending infielder Eduardo Escobar and minor leaguer left-hander Pedro Hernandez to the Minnesota Twins. The left-handed Liriano is 3-10 with a 5.31 ERA in 22 starts this season and has 109 strikeouts and 100 innings pitched. In the Midwest League, the Great Lakes Loons get shelled for 16 hits and a 12-7 loss to the Tin Caps in Fort Wayne. The Loons' 4th straight loss. The Loons did have 11 hits as a team, but did not match a Tin Caps offense that was led by Yeson Asensio's 5-for-5 4 RBI day at the plate. The Detroit Lions had day 3 of training camp today, and you can sense an air of confidence about the team that hasn't been there in years past. While the players talked big in prior preseasons, the team actually went out and performed big last season. And with nearly everyone returning from last year's squad, expectations are increasing in Detroit. While training camp seems drama-free so far, the offseason was far from it with 7 player arrests, including 2 each from defensive tackle Nick Fairley, running back Mikel Shore, and the latest from defensive back Aaron Berry, who was released by the team as a result. The offseason misbehavior has certainly brought negative attention to the team, but the veteran leaders are doing what they can to make sure the rash of off-field problems don't prevent the team from having on-field success.
You know, when I had an opportunity to talk to everybody yesterday, just said whatever happened this summer, we can't fix it now. I think the worst thing would be to dwell on some of the things that have happened this offseason or let it affect us going forward.
You know, we have to move on, and, you know, I think it's actually brought this locker room closer together, kind of, you know, put a red flag up for everybody.
The 2012 Olympics are into full gear, and another day in London has brought more surprise moments, both exciting and disappointing for the U.S. athletes, many of which have connections to Michigan. Mid-Michigan native Jordan Weber of DeWitt shockingly failed to qualify for the gymnastics all-around final, finishing behind 2 of her U.S. teammates. Weber, the world champion, had lost only 2 all-around competitions since 2008 and was the favorite to win gold. Also on the disappointing side of things, in swimming, the U.S. men's 4x100 relay team finished second to France. Highlights of the day include Michigan native Allison Schmidt, who is from Canton, taking silver, finishing behind France's Camille Maffat in the women's 400-meter freestyle. American Dana Vollmer won gold in the 100-meter butterfly, setting the world record in the process. And the U.S. men's basketball team opened tournament play with a 98-71 win over France behind 22 points and 8 rebounds from Kevin Durant. So an updated look at the medal standings so far. China is still in the lead with 12, half of which are gold medals. The U.S. is in second with 11 and 3 gold medals. NASCAR in the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway with 35 laps to go. Jeff Burton's left front tire goes flat and catches fire. That brings out a caution. 30 laps left now. Jimmy Johnson passes Greg Biffle on the outside for the lead. Just 2 laps later, though, Joey Logano in the number 20 gets loose on the inside, spins down the track, and crashes into Bobby Labonte. Logano then turns up and crashes into Matt Kenseth, whose car catches fire. He would climb out safely, though. That would be the last of the cautions as Jimmy Johnson holds on to take the checkered flag for the 4th time at the Brickyard. To golf in the final round of the RBC Canadian Open, Scott Piercy sinks the par putt on the par 4 18th to finish at 17 under par. William McGirt misses the par putt on the 18th to finish at 16 under, and Robert Garrigus also misses the birdie putt on 18 to finish at 16 under as well. So Scott Piercy holds on for the victory by 1 stroke. That's it for sports tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Evan Beach.